Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors, episode 541. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by viable human Chris Saturn.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Saturn.
We made it.
We did make it.
There was no technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I didn't accidentally waste half an hour by adjusting partition tables. Everything's fine.
That didn't happen.
Nope.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We at the top of the show, we want to send out very happy birthday wishes to our very own Andrew. It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
And we're doing a fucking podcast.
It's his birthday as we're recording, not as it's published.
Yeah.
By the time this is
will
published,
not come out on his birthday.
he's just old, so we can move on.
Yeah. There you go. So everyone go in Discord and tag Andrew in the Talking Wizards channel and tell him he's old.
Yeah. Not as old as me, though. So it's okay.
Right. Well, that's how time works. We can't catch up to you. We keep trying, but it's just not working.
You can go back and listen to old podcasts, and then you'll be older than me.
Yeah, there you go. We do have housekeeping. Yeah. Guy is here for the after party. I couldn't remember the actual name of the segment. Guy's here for an after party. So stay tuned after the ending theme. Our producer Guy will be on the show to talk to us about something that presumably he'll decide on in the next hour or so.
Yeah. Or he'll make us decide.
Yes, that's also true. Usually I've come up with something that I demand he tell us about.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
This time it'll be in-zone celebrations. That's what we want him to define for us.
I don't think they do those anymore. I think they quit doing. They're not allowed.
Oh,
they got in trouble for dancing. Yeah, no dancing allowed in the National Football League. Is that what it stands for?
No fun allowed in our sports balls.
Right.
How dare they?
That's what NFL stands for. No fun or laughing. None of this. None of that. All right, there's some stuff he can correct later. My week. The new Luminace came out. Luminace Arise.
Yeah, how's it?
And it's real good.
Nice.
It's real good. I've played every Luminace to date, and this is the best one by a pretty wide margin. Part of it is just, I was kind of hesitant because I was like, I don't know, man, I don't spend a lot of time sitting on my couch playing puzzle games on my big screen TV on my PlayStation 5. Puzzle games are more of like a handheld kind of thing for me.
Sure.
And so I was like, I don't know, am I really going to play it like on my it's great. And it makes very good use of the power of the PS5 because I was kind of curious about that.
Yeah.
It looks really awesome. It's really fun. It's Luminace. I mean, it's not like if you didn't like Luminace before, this isn't going to convince you. But if you liked Luminace before, this is the best one.
Oh, and it supports PSVR. I might have to try it.
I did see that. Yeah. It's real fun. I think it's. I was annoyed because they didn't do a physical, but it's like I think it's $35 or $40, which is not bad. I've not fussed with any of the online shit. I'm just doing the regular campaign stuff, and it's so cool. So far the soundtrack is really, really good. This is very much Tetris Effect, but for Luminous. They've Tetris affected Luminous.
Nice.
And it's good, man. It's so much fun. So if anyone's looking for a good PS5 puzzle game, I think is it on Steam too? I think it came out on PC as well.
Like it's PS5 and Steam.
Yeah. So man, so much fun. Nice. Such a fun game and really, really cool looking. I'm hoping they I've not played around with it, but so for people that haven't played Luminace, they have skins. So as you're playing, the aesthetic and the shape and what all the blocks are that will all change with the song. They've been doing it since the first Luminace.
Yeah.
And in this one, you used to be able to do like skin remixes where you'd be like, I want these 3 skins and that'll be my procession.
Yeah.
And I hope they have it here because some of them are really good.
Nice. That was one of the neat things about Tetris Effect too, because
Tetris Effect did that same thing. Yeah, that you kind of go through these levels. Luminace is definitely more of a change than the levels, but like Tetris Effect was like the background kind of changes,
and also the shapes of the blocks.
Yeah, they change a little bit.
Sometimes they change a lot. Because like in that one theme,
they do. Because I forgot.
cogs.
Yeah, you're right. I'm misremembering. In my head, they were just always still regular Tetraminas, but no, they do. It's the same kind of thing then. Yeah. But just compared to Tetris Effect, just a lot more of that, a lot more motion, a lot more change, a lot more stuff. But it's real good. Nice. I'm having a really good time. I'm very happy with it. Also still playing Battlefield. continuing to be frustrated with EA.
I'm hearing so many people bitching about Battlefield on all the Linux gaming forums since it doesn't work in Linux.
Yeah.
Because it uses a kernel level anti-cheat.
Yep, that's why I got it on console. I wasn't going to fuck with any of that shit.
Yep.
I'm still enjoying it. Really, I'm enjoying it because it's become a thing that Andrew and I have been playing a few nights a week, and that's what has been fun, is playing with my friend. But EA continues to try to just fuck it. It's so annoying. But the gameplay itself, when you're in it, is fun. I was excited. They added a map where you could, it was like a blasted out golf course, and you could get on a golf cart, and I was like, I want to get on a golf cart and shoot people with a rocket launcher. That sounds hilarious. But that mode was only available, or that map was only available in the Battle Royale mode, which I'm not going to do because I'm too old to understand what any of that is. I played it one time, and I just was like, what is happening? And then I died, and it was over, and I don't know what happened.
There's a movie that'll teach you about it. It's called Battle Royale.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'll be sure to watch that. This instructional film. But they did finally add that map to regular modes, and it's funny because in the map, you spawn on your teammates. So if your teammates are still alive, you can spawn on them instead of spawning back at your headquarters, that's all. Battlefield's always been that way, and I love that.
Right.
And if they're in a vehicle, you can spawn into their vehicle. And I saw a guy in a golf cart, and so I spawned on him into his golf cart, and I was like, Andrew, spawn on this guy. He's got a golf cart. And then our whole squad was in the golf cart. There's no guns on the golf cart, and we're just like beelining towards tanks and like attack helicopters and shit in the golf cart. And we died fast, very fast. I know. I was shocked.
Were you able to revive again on the golf cart?
No, it was exploded by then. It was gone. But it's it's Battlefield. It's you shoot guns, and then there's bad guys, and you shoot the bad guys, and then they have guns too, and everyone on the whole game is better at it than I am. I die instantly.
Is there a turn-based version?
No, no.
Damn.
No, there's not a. God, I wish there was. There is. I spent. I think I've talked about it on the show, but you can fly a little drone, and you can't attack anything with it, but you can spot enemies, so they show up on your team's like radar or whatever. And I spent a lot of time doing that because I'm not good at shooting people, so I spent a lot of time just flying around in my RC plane drone thing, But other than that, just getting ready for Thanksgiving, and it's my daughter's birthday this week, and shit's crazy for me. So
it's fair.
Yeah. What have you been doing?
Working a lot.
Yeah.
But aside from that, they released a casual mode update for Silent Hill.
I saw that. Yeah.
And so I figured I would give that a shot, and it feels manageable. It's still difficult. It's still challenging, but it's manageable challenging.
Okay. Still not your favorite, but doable.
No, still not my favorite. Because I was trying to go through some of the New Game Plus, because that's where all the supposedly good endings are, which I just watched a YouTube video to see what all the endings are so that I can, have that knowledge in my head. Mm-hmm. And I'm still just kind of struggling with the game in general, just because it has a lot of design choices that I just don't feel right to me. They feel off. And so even with the more manageable difficulty, I'm still kind of struggling with it. I don't know if I'm going to stick all the way through a second playthrough or not.
Yeah.
So I did while I was at work one night and bored, and everything was dead. I started up Trails in the Sky first chapter.
Oh man, I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, God, I gotta get back to Cold Steel so I can go do first chapter.
It's really neat. First of all, it looks great. Graphically, it looks really nice. It is kind of weird to hear the same music, slightly remixed, obviously, and see the same characters and environments and everything, but in this new graphic style where everything looks nice. Yeah. Also, all the cutscenes and story moments and everything, because they're played out in this new art style, everything is just a little bit slower and a little more padded out because you're having to watch all the characters actually act everything out instead of
physical movements are actually occurring. Yeah,
it's not just little sprite Lego figures doing stuff. So because of that, everything takes a little bit longer, and everybody has much more detailed facial expressions and everything. And so all of what previously in my mind I just had to like, visualize, I just had to use my imaginations to figure out, is now being played out, and I'm like, that's not what Estelle would do. No,
Yeah.
she's much more pissier than that. I don't.
It's like you're watching the movie version of a book you read.
Yep. and so I'm like having to adjust to this new interpretation of everything, which is very likely the more accurate interpretation, since this is what the developers have chosen to do.
Sure.
But in my head, I already had a way that all this happened, and it was slightly different, and now I'm having to adjust to it.
Yeah.
But as far as gameplay goes, it seems fine. It seems great. I'm still at the very beginning, so I'm not deep enough to have any real opinions about it. And it is really impressive looking and feeling, so I am excited to get further into it. But I'm still basically at the very beginning.
Yeah.
I also went back to check some of Blueprints, because I was watching some video essay about puzzle games and everything, and they had mentioned something in Blueprints that I did not remember at all. And I know that I spent an exorbitant amount of time on that game digging into everything, and I thought that I had found just about everything, and they're mentioning some stuff that I don't recall being in the game, and I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? So I went and found some Blueprints wiki, and I went to go find the last puzzle that I had solved in the game, which I thought was like the big one that tied everything together.
The end, yeah.
And I look it up, and they have that puzzle list, and they're like, this is the beginning of the middle point of the game. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, fuck. So I went back to the game to see if I could even figure out how to get out of the beginning of the middle point in the game, and I did find a new puzzle, and it does completely open shit up even more than I had realized. So, man, what a deep fucking game that is. Those guys that made that game are mad geniuses. Just the amount of puzzles under puzzles under puzzles that they put in that game is really just it's a lot. It is a lot to take in, and I don't know how I'm going to find my way to the bottom of it.
Well, I look forward to 6 months from now when you realize there's another third leg of the game that you've still never explored.
Yeah, it's just an obscene amount of content.
Let's do some news.
All right.
First up, Square Enix CEO tells investors they'd like to replace up to 70% of QA workers with AI in the next 2 years.
First of all, that's a very weirdly specific number.
That is the whole thing is very specific, almost as if they're probably already planning to do it.
Yeah.
Also, they announced additional massive layoffs at their North American and European offices across IT, marketing, publishing, sales, QA, business planning, quote, and more.
Yay.
Fucking awesome.
Right.
What I don't understand is, isn't Square Enix doing okay?
Yeah, they're doing pretty all right. It seems like they're profitable at the moment.
I mean, I know that that's the thing now, is companies announce record-breaking profits and then shit can everyone that made those profits for them. But
yeah,
fuck off, man.
Right.
Fuck off.
Seriously.
8BitDo's new controllers can now wake the Switch 2 via Shake, which is cool. That's cool. I like that. You pick your controller up and it wakes your Switch up. That's neat.
That was one of my big issues with using 8BitDo controllers on the original Switch, was that you couldn't wake the console with them, but it's nice. I'm glad that that's a feature.
Grand Theft Auto 6 delayed until later in 2026 as more information comes forward about them firing employees who were looking to organize a union.
Yeah, which we talked about a little bit last episode.
By many accounts, illegally firing them.
Yeah, it does increasingly look like that's the case.
Yeah, it seems like they might have broken the law, in which case I hope they get their asses handed to them in court.
Seriously.
Commodore Industries is looking to prevent Commodore International from using the Commodore name or logo. For those confused, there's more than one Commodore. Too many people kept up with the Commodore. And so now they're fighting over who owns it and gets to release it.
Yeah, now Commodore is keeping up with them.
Yeah.
So it's a little messy as far as who does or doesn't own the rights to Commodore. Also, it's messy who owns the rights to Commodore in which region, which is only making this a messier and grosser situation. I wish them all luck.
Yeah. Commodore International is the one releasing the new Commodore, right?
Correct. Yeah, they're the ones who are putting out the new Commodore console.
And Commodore Industries is not making a new Commodore, right?
Right. They are just a publisher who has been releasing some indie games on Steam under the Commodore name.
Okay. Stupid.
And, Commodore Industries believes that they own the rights to Commodore. Commodore International is the one who has worked with several of the former Commodore staff to try to preserve some Commodore history stuff. It's still kind of up in the air as to who properly went the correct routes, because there was a lot of mess as far as when Commodore split up multiple times, as far as who actually kept the copyrights. So it's a pain.
Yeah. Nintendo has released a new storefront app for smartphones that shows play history from Switch, Wii U, and 3DS.
Which is weird.
So I guess they have kept that information?
Yeah, they kept all that information on their servers, apparently.
Who I would not have guessed. Yeah, as much shit as they've shut down.
I also got a news update from my news app on my phone the other day saying that Nintendo has released the all new eShop, and I went to go look at that news update, and it's just the same eShop. But Nintendo has pushed a news article about how they have now released the eShop for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know what is new about it, because it looks the same to me.
Maybe it doesn't run like dog shit now, you think?
No, that's not true.
Oh.
It runs pretty well on Switch 2.
Oh, yeah, I would fucking hope.
Yeah.
They probably updated it so it runs. They did a Sony where it runs worse on your last gen console now. Right. They encourage you to upgrade. Right. Remember when they fucked the store on PS4?
Yeah, and also on PS3 prior to that.
And on PS3. They fucked it hard on PS3.
It's rough.
I don't know. This is a total tangent, but do you remember on PS3 when they updated it so that to search for something, instead of pulling up a keyboard, you have a vertical dial for each fucking letter? Who would design that?
I didn't buy my PS3 until after they implemented that.
What evil bastard
would
not? There's a keyboard built into the fucking OS. It's
you can also
keyboard.
You can plug in a USB keyboard. Have you used a USB keyboard with that interface yet?
It doesn't work.
It does. Every time you type a letter, it just scrolls the thing down to that letter.
Does it?
But it still just uses the same bullshit interface.
I'm annoyed.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Bitmap Books has announced a new book about the history of controllers, and I'm kind of tempted on this one. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Crossover, a new tech based on Wine/Proton, makes gaming easier on ARM-based Linux installs. Is Crossover this is new? But this is different than Crossover Linux, the app.
So it is the app. It's just
now on ARM.
Yeah.
The Code Weavers thing, right?
Right, I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so they just support ARM now.
It's just on ARM now.
Game Tank, a new 8-bit gaming console, was announced. Only supports analog video output,
which pretty much means it's DOA. With anybody who doesn't have a CRT laying around.
This is true, but it's fully open source, which is really cool.
It's true.
You can build it yourself. Everything's the board, the 3D print files, everything's available. There's an emulator for it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I looked at the trailer for it, and they got some cool little 8-bit games.
Right. It's really neat. I just don't know what market it's going to have.
Yeah, not having HDMI is kind of a bummer. I mean, obviously it's going to be an enthusiast device.
Sure.
But I'm curious.
Yeah.
And there's a good amount of games for it already. You know, there's good, maybe 3 dozen. They look like just little super basic stuff.
Right.
But it's, it's cool. I like it. It looks really neat.
It's a neat idea. I just, I struggle to find how it's going to be able to sustain itself.
I don't know. I would suspect anyone interested in an 8-bit open source video game console probably already has some old 8-bit consoles in some way that they hook them up. I don't think that's too absurd. Now, is it going to get mainstream success? No, of course not.
Well, also, those same enthusiasts, are they looking for a new 8-bit console? And if so, is there the games to sustain that kind of audience?
True. I would be curious to see what the cost to build one or have one built for you is. Like, if they're cheap.
Yeah.
Then,
if it's sub 100,
if it's under $100 total, that's curiosity territory for me. I'll buy something out of curiosity.
Yeah.
But it does look really cool. Their website's cool. They got a lot of stuff already documented. And they have a store, but they're doing it through some program called Crowd Supply, which is I think some kind of crowdfunding thing where they do bulk orders. But I'm not quite sure any of the costs. The controller does look heinous. Have you seen it?
Yeah, that does not look pleasant.
It's an A and a B button and then a big long C button.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah,
Granted, I had the same issue when the GameCube controller was first shown, where I was like, "What's up with that giant A button and these weird pill-shaped buttons?"
True.
It
doesn't look uncomfortable. It's just very weird. It's weird looking.
Yeah,
very weird. What's next? Here we go. Quote: An extremely distracting horse forced Koei Tecmo to crop a game's cover art before release. Artist says people's eyes were drawn to the horse rather than the character.
Did you look at this box?
I did. It is a very cool looking horse.
Look, it's a very nice looking horse and a very generic looking anime girl.
Yeah, maybe
I'm going to look at the horse too.
Maybe the problem isn't the horse, it's the generic anime character you drew. Draw a better fucking character.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there, just so you know.
Yeah, I believe it's one of the Atelier games.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe don't put your really nice detailed looking horse next to generic anime art, and then you won't have this problem.
Yeah. Bamco announced DLC for Once Upon a Katamari at the Sony State of Play. Looks to be all cosmetics and music tracks, presumably also for way too much money because their last music track was $20 fucking.
Yeah, I didn't see the pricing on this.
Which I'm glad they're doing it, but it's so expensive.
I don't need any DLC that's just cosmetic and music stuff. If it was new levels, yeah, I'm in. But
for sure,
I don't know.
For sure,
yeah.
Sony announced a new monitor with a charging hook for DualSense controllers.
Yeah,
that's weird.
It's got a little cradle underneath the display where you can set your controller to charge it.
Oh, well, that's nice. How much is the monitor?
I did not see a price on it. This was also announced during the State of Play, but it's I have no interest in Sony monitor. They've done this before. They had the PS3 monitor, which had the 3D display built in. I don't remember if they did a monitor for PS4, but now they're doing a monitor for PS5. They're just calling it gaming monitor.
Oh. It doesn't look cool at all. It just looks like a generic ass fucking monitor.
Yeah, with a charging hook.
Well, cool, I guess. You can hook it up with your new speakers they announced.
Yeah, it is a 240 hertz monitor.
That's cool. Cool. I like that. My laptop's 240 hertz.
Yeah, I don't know that it has a price announced yet. If it does, I didn't immediately see it.
Yeah. Where are we? Square Enix says Dragon Quest VII Reimagined will get you into your first fight in less than 2 hours. So they've reduced it by 10 hours.
Yeah, so the 3DS version had already done this, by the way. It was like 20-30 minutes to the first fight on 3DS.
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
But I do appreciate that their press release specifically mentioned the 2-hour mark that a lot of people claimed for the PS1 version. First of all, it was like 1 hour, give or take.
Yeah.
But
I gotta say,
like that's still a meme.
With all the news about Square Enix at the top of the hour, I'm a little nervous about they might end up on my no-buy list before too long. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too, but
I'm a little worried about this new Dragon Quest game because it looks like it's a lot of work.
On the other hand,
big remaster.
On the other hand, Yuji Horii has come out several times in recent weeks with interviews, and he seems pretty dedicated to Dragon Quest as a franchise and maintaining complete control over it. And he hasn't steered me wrong yet, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. What about Infinity's trash? Did he work on that?
He did not. No.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Fans have built a recreation of the goofy Xbox-shaped prototype that can actually play games. This was on the YouTube channel Macho Nacho. He does like a video game mods and stuff. I watched a lot of his stuff when I was modding my Xbox and stuff. It's cool for people that have never seen the original prototype Xbox that was on stage with, I think, The Rock.
I believe The Rock was
on
there for
stage
that
there,
one, yeah.
And Bill Gates. It's a gigantic, enormous metal X. It's ridiculous.
It looked so dumb.
Yeah. Rumble Mines.
I thought it was Rumble Mins.
Rumble Mins is porting Castlevania 2 to SNES, includes an in-game map, a new prologue, music and save features from the FDS, and the fan translation, among other upgrades. This is exciting. This is really cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about
Castlevania
this.
2 might be good now.
It was always good, but now it'll be good.
No, not
instead of
not yet.
good for its time good.
Maybe one day.
When The Rock was there, they already had the final design. The prototype was pre-Rock.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
All right. It was pre-Rock.
Yeah, it's in the pre-Rock era. That's PR.
Sony says Destiny 2 hasn't met their sales expectations following the Bungie acquisition. That's because your expectations are all the money in the universe.
Correct, yeah.
I'm sorry you bought an aging FPS, online FPS game, and it's not making you insane money. Make a new fucking game.
They've tried a few new live service games since then, and they all bombed.
Maybe quit doing live service games. Maybe just Sony's whole thing is they're like, we make single player, experiences. Do some of those.
Yeah,
that's
but
your whole fucking
those don't
thing.
have recurring revenue. They need a live service.
I'm aware.
Yeah. What was that live service that Sony had this year or last year that lasted like a week before they canceled it?
Oh,
yeah, I've forgotten too.
I don't fucking know. It's gone.
Yeah.
Former Humble Bundle vets have made a new charity first bundle site called Digifile. File with a PH. It sounds not good, but it is good. They got cool stuff.
It's not a great name, but they do already have their first 2 bundles up. And
one of them's the System Shock
it's an
bundle,
immersive
sim bundle. They got some cool stuff. The other one's Astro City bundle.
Yeah.
So there's, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Looks like some cool things. And finally, Lego and Nintendo have announced an official Zelda Lego kit coming in 2026. Didn't they already have one? This will be their second one.
I think so, maybe.
They had one that was the tree.
Lego costs way too fucking much for me. I can't.
Oh,
it's
it's insane.
With those. Yeah,
it's insane. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have some Lego, so I can't say much, but it's absurd.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our topic at hand, which is Dragon Quest 1 HD-2D Remake, which is the full title.
Technically, the title was 1 and 2.
It's Dragon Quest 1 plus 2 HD-2D Remake.
But we're not doing 2. So
we're not doing 2. Yeah, we're not. This is not Dragon Quest 2. We ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
That's in a future date.
Yeah.
At sometime in the far-flung future. This is just the first Dragon Quest, which I don't think we've done an episode on.
We have.
Have we? Did we did the first Dragon Quest?
Yeah, I've got it in the notes as far as when we did it and everything. But
okay, good. It's in the long ago.
Yeah, it was
release info.
It was 400 plus episodes ago. Yeah,
this was developed by ArtDink of all people.
Yeah,
and published by Square Enix.
Yeah,
released on Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, Steam, Xbox Store worldwide on October 30th, 2025. As far as first encounters, I bought the original Dragon Warrior in the 2000s because I knew it as that game that Nintendo Power gave away for free. That's all I knew about it. And then later I played Dragon Quest 8, and then a few years after that figured out that they were in the same series. So I was very blind to Dragon Quest for a very long time.
I have
Saturn. I hear you might have played one of these before.
I have played some of the Dragon Quests before. We got Dragon Quest 1 on NES a little after it was given away free in Nintendo Power, because we subscribed to Nintendo Power a couple of months after they did the giveaway, and we didn't know about it. But the local it wasn't Funcoland, it was a different little local video game store. They got inundated with copies of Dragon Warrior that people were trading in. And so they were selling it for pretty damn cheap. And so we picked it up from them, and they had all the manuals, maps, everything that the game came with as well as the little Nintendo Power bonus issue and everything. And they were just bundling it all together because they had so many of them. And so we got that for like $15-$20 or something, and played through it. And it quickly became a favorite in our household. So we ended up getting the sequels and everything. So I've been following the series since 89, 90, whenever we ended up getting our copy. And
I think I paid $1 for my cartridge at Movie Trading Company.
yeah, that's about what it would have been worth at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, 3 and 4 at that point were already selling for $50-$60 used. They've always been pretty high, but the first one was pretty cheap. And then of course I played the fan translations of the Super NES games, and then I played the Game Boy Color games when they came out, and so I've played just about every port of Dragon Quest 1 at this point.
Well, you have a section here called Dragon Quest 101. And so I'm going to let you kind of lay that out for us, for people that are somehow have listened to this podcast for 540 episodes and don't know what the fuck Dragon Quest is.
Well, first of all, you don't, because we already covered it back in episode 104. So you do, if you've listened to us for 500 plus episodes, you already heard us talk about it 400 some episodes ago.
There you go.
But just as a refresher, it was originally released on Famicom on May 27th, 1986. It was designed by Yuji Horii, who began working with Enix after winning a game development contest. His first game with the company was the Portopia Serial Murder Club, or Murder Case, rather. It was not a murder club. They did not get together to do murders.
That's the sequel, when they all decided maybe they'd try murder.
Yeah. Enix outsourced the art to popular manga artist Akira Toriyama, best known for Dr. Slump and Sandland and Blue Dragon.
I think he did some other stuff, Saturn.
No, I don't think he did anything else. That's pretty much all he did.
No, he did the cover for Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono Trigger, right, yeah. Chrono Trigger. That was the other thing he did.
And that's it. That's all he ever did. He didn't do anything else?
Nope,
nothing else. He didn't do anything else.
The music was handled by composer Koichi Sugiyama, who had contacted Enix about how much he liked one of their shogi PG games several years earlier, and he wanted to have his hand at digitized music. And he had done some other music with them in the past, but this was, of course, the one that got all the notoriety. Programming was outsourced to Chunsoft, which was a new studio at the time, which was founded by Koichi Nakamura, who had previously assisted Yuji Horii with porting Portopia to the Famicom disk system, and they reused a lot of their ideas as far as how menus worked and everything in Dragon Quest. It was inspired, they said at the time, specifically by games like Wizardry and Ultima, and the goal was to make an RPG that could be easily interfaced with via a standard Famicom controller, which I think they did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah. I think I butchered our notes here because it says gameplay here, and we're not ready for gameplay yet. There's more. No. You have more, so I'm just going to remove that. Okay. Please continue.
Yeah. So the
My bad.
The menus for the game were based on the work that the team had done previously on the FDS port of Portopia. It was a very basic game compared to later JRPGs, even JRPGs on the Famicom. All the interactions were handled via a simple on-screen menu that would let you talk to things or interact with things. The commands on that first game were talk, spell, status, item, stairs, door, search, and take. Very simple stuff. A lot of that stuff would have been reduced into the same command in future games, but in that first game, they didn't know exactly what all they would want or need.
Yeah.
The character sprites in that first game only faced one direction, so a separate submenu would pop up whenever you wanted to talk to somebody to ask you which direction to talk in.
So tedious.
Yeah, that was removed in the Western release, but because they had figured out how to turn directions, And while some direction was provided in the manual, it was expected that you would talk to NPCs to learn where to go and what to do. There were only 39 enemy types in the original game, of which 25 were palette swaps. And one of them was the final boss of the game, which had a second form. So there's technically 40 enemies. And aside from the starting castle, there were 5 towns in the game, including the castle town outside of the first castle. There was also a deserted ghost town and 2 shrines. There was only 5 dungeons in the original game. One of them didn't even have monsters in it, And of the 5, only 3 are mandatory, including the final dungeon. The other 2 are optional. You needed torches or magic to be able to see at all in any of the dungeons. Otherwise, you would just see your character sprite in a field of black. The max level for the original game was 30, which was what you would reach when you got to 65,535 experience, or a maxed out 8-bit integer. The max gold was also max 8-bit integer, or 65,535. All the spells would be learned by the time you reached level 20, so those last 10 levels, you didn't even learn any more magic. It was just, padding.
Just stats, yeah.
Yeah. No backup battery was present in the original game, so saving progress meant writing down long passwords. And the passwords could only be obtained from the King of Tantagel, so you would have to go back to the castle at the beginning of the game, get a password, and then turn off your game. Go ahead.
You skipped a section as I was moving the notes around on you, maybe
sorry.
you said it while I was moving the notes, but it talked about how these were inspired by wizardry. and Ultima.
I mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was moving the notes as you said it.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about that for a minute. And I think it's just because I've been reading a lot of old D&D shit right now.
Yeah.
Because in the pre-show I talked about how I'm getting ready to run an AD&D First Edition module. So I've had to reread the AD&D First Edition rule books.
Sure.
And so I can't tell if it's just present in my mind or what. But as I was playing the Dragon Quest I HD-2D remake, it struck me how Dungeons and Dragons-y it was, just like in weird ways. So one of them is always consulting the sages. Like you got these old sages floating around the world, which is a very, like there's a whole page in the AD&D manual about like how to consult sages and where you can find sages, and you got to go consult. It was like a thing where people would be like, before we go on this adventure, let's go consult a sage. And I guess just every fucking town had a sage.
Right.
But then I misremembered this because in my head I was like, oh, also you can smell gold. There's this seek gold. What's the spell called?
Nose for treasure.
Nose for treasure, where you will smell gold.
And that didn't show up until Dragon Quest 7 or 8, I think. I
misremembered this. I thought AD&D dwarves could smell gold. I was thinking Dungeon Crawl Classics, in which dwarves can smell gold. But I was like, no, that's from something older. So I did some digging, and in Japan, the tabletop RPGs were very different. D&D wasn't popular until the Beckme sets in the late 80s were translated into Japanese. But one of the earliest tabletop RPGs that were translated for Japanese markets was Tunnels and Trolls, which came out in 1975. And in Tunnels and Trolls, there were similar abilities where you could smell, sense gold. And I don't have, because there's other stuff, right? Like there's a Japanese idiom about smelling money, like it smells like money. But with the close proximity to wizardry and Ultima, I don't know why I got hung up on the smelling gold thing. I got weirdly hung up on it for a while. But I wanted to figure out, was this inspired by an old tabletop RPG, or was it just trickle-down inspiration from wizardry and Ultima, which were very inspired by tabletop RPGs? And I never found anything definitive, but it's too coincidental to me for it to not very possibly be true.
I mean, Dragon Quest didn't add it until the late 90s, so they would have had plenty of time to...
didn't Dragon Quest IV have a thief's nose ability or something?
Not until the remake.
Oh, okay, so it's a remake. But even then, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to map out the timeline in my head because it's weird, right? Because D&D came out in the 70s and all this stuff happened in the 70s, but then a lot of it didn't make it to Japan until years later, so tabletop RPGs didn't take off until the late 90s, or the late 80s. Early 90s there. And so I don't know. I was trying to piece together this timeline of what is the likelihood that they were influenced by tabletop RPGs to add
almost certainly. But it
nose for treasure.
Yeah, because Dragon Quest didn't have it until 10 plus years into the franchise. So almost certainly they would have gotten that in.
That still only would have been roughly 10 years, when development started anyway, into the tabletop RPG boom in Japan.
Well, this would have been for Dragon Quest to get it would have been 90 at the earliest, 97, 98.
Yeah, so we're talking 7-8 years into tabletop RPGs being a thing and proliferating into the Japanese market after really blowing up in the late 80s, but I don't know when Tunnels and Trolls actually came out in Japan. I know it was localized early. I don't know. I got weirdly hung up on it. I was like, where the hell does this smelling gold thing come from? Because when you I cast it in the game 80,000 times, and every time your character has to be like, sniff, sniff. And I guess I was just thinking about it too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird fucking tangent. Tell me about the art and music in this game.
Yeah. Sorry, we're still talking about the original game. Nose for Treasure isn't even in the original game, so it's
yes, right. No, it's not. No.
So anyway, Toriyama Sugiyama did the art and music. It was very, very celebrated. The music was played. Music from the first game was played at the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics in 2021. So it's a very cultural thing. And then of course it sold pretty well. It sold pretty well on Famicom. Yeah. It was the first remake would really be the NES version that was released in North America because it added the backup battery, it fixed the graphics, it allowed you to face in different directions. Didn't sell as well as Japan, but did okay. And then they remade it on Super NES, they remade it on Game Boy Color. Both of those had the improvements from the North American release as well as further upgrades. And then there was the phone version, which was upgraded into the smartphone version, which was then re-released on 3DS, PS4, Switch. They all have their own various quality of life improvements, but they're all basically based on the original game, with some pretty major quality of life improvements for the record, but still basically the original game.
Like having played, I think all of those versions, like not every one of them to completion, but I've played each one of them. They all feel like this is the same game, just less tedious to play.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest downgrade for me in all those upgrades is that they have limited inventory space, whereas the original game had an unlimited inventory, because it had exactly enough space for every item in the game.
Everything in the game, yeah.
I think technically you could overfill yourself if you ended up with a bunch of fighters rings or something, but that was pretty uncommon. Whereas all the remakes had a relatively limited inventory, but then there was also either a bag or a bank that you could go store things at. So but then by the time we get to this remake, things have changed a bit.
Yeah. So let's transition into this new one, the new HD-2D remake.
Yeah.
This uses that same HD-2D. I guess it's probably the same engine. I don't know. It looks the same as Octopath, as the other Dragon Quest HD-2D. You know, this new kind of.
This one's in aesthetic. Unreal Engine 4.
Okay. So it's different.
I don't know if it is or not. I think some of the other HD-2D remakes also use UE4. Which is, at least it's not UE5, which means that you can actually get a reasonable frame rate.
It works.
Yeah.
I do feel like it has less of the like ambient occlusion than some of the like Octopath and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like Octopath is like real fuzzy. Like, granted, I haven't played it in a few years. But I remember that one being like almost fuzzy around the edges. This is much clearer,
especially when you're looking at depth of field. Those other ones are much fuzzier.
Yeah, it feels less diorama-esque, I guess.
Yeah,
would be how I would phrase it. I like the HD-2D in this one. It's good.
Yeah.
There are, I don't know, minor complaint, but I feel like it kind of does some 3D stuff and some particle effects, and then it also kind of wants to do sprite stuff, and I kind of wish it would just sort of pick a lane, you know?
Yeah.
It feels, there are times when it feels like the two styles kind of clash a little bit, but for the most part, I think it's good. It looks good.
The point in the game where it felt like the art styles clashed the most, mild spoilers, is in the alternate ending of Dragon Quest II in this collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it really goes over the top with spectacle, and it's really impressive. And then occasionally you just see your little character sprites in there, and they look goofy and out of place.
Flat sprite. Yeah,
it's kind of goofy. It's still cool, but it's kind of goofy.
Yeah. It's Dragon Quest music. It's good. It had me humming it all week. Town themes, at least. But it's Dragon Quest music.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same arrangements as used in some of the prior remakes too. Which I think that's just what Sugiyama was always. He was pretty picky about using these specific orchestral arrangements of the songs.
Yeah.
I did notice that the loading screen music, that when you're selecting your save file when you first turn the game on, loops in a weird place. It doesn't loop where it normally does. Other times they've used the same arrangement. So it kind of fades off in the middle and then loops, as opposed to the prior versions, which kind of got to a natural ending point and then looped. And I just thought that was strange. There's also some tracks from Dragon Quest 2 and 3 present in this version of Dragon Quest 1, but that's because of some of the story changes, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. And I don't know if we said it at the top of the show, but we're going to put all the story in the second episode. There's not a lot to spoil, but just as we normally do for RPGs. Right. Let's talk about the localization. What was the thing that was it IGN that said like, what is this Final Fantasy VI? What's with all the
weirdest
and
fucking complaint? Yeah.
Now I will say I had complaints with the localization.
Oh.
I like that they leaned into the like weird Middle English thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it gives it some kind of character.
Yeah.
It does make some of the lines every now and then you'll be like, what do they say? Like it takes you a second to realize what they're saying. But not all the characters do it.
Correct. Yeah, there's some characters that don't.
I'll talk more about it in the second episode, but kind of like half of the characters in the game end up not doing it, and that makes it feel really weird when people do and then they don't. And
there's some story reasons why some of them don't. Which is why we'll get into it in the second episode.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a little more broken in Dragon Quest 2 because some of the characters go back and forth. Some of like our party characters will use the these and the thys and the thous and the wherefores and whatnot. And then like later on in a different conversation, I'll catch one of them saying you. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. No. You're not supposed to do that.
Like I like the intent here, but I feel like it just
a little inconsistent.
Not super well thought out. I feel like there were some holes in this script where they just kind of filled the shit in. Almost like maybe AI did it, Saturn. I don't know.
I will say I'm usually pretty good about not getting hung up by this stuff when it's just the thous and these and thys, because we still have those same rules in our language today. It's nothing different there. Wherefore is the one that fucks me up.
I'm okay with it, but it's the switching back and forth that gets me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in that headspace, it's fine.
Yeah.
But then when it switches, you're like, oh shit. Which in other Dragon Quest games, they'll switch it like per town, which is fun because you'll go into a new town and you'll be like, what the fuck are these people saying? And then you figure it out after a minute and it adds some character. This it just felt a little like, are you doing it or are you not doing it? Are we doing it? We're doing it? Or we're not doing it now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're doing it again. That's good.
Yeah.
Which was a little weird.
Yeah, it is a little jarring sometimes.
Which brings us to the meat of this episode, which is going to be gameplay and combat.
Okay, yeah.
I want to go ahead and say that this was where I had the most issues with the game.
I do have some complaints here. Not a ton. I think I have less complaints than you did, but I do have some issues.
Yeah. I'll let you take it away, and I'll just cut in whenever I have shit to complain about.
All right. So as far as mechanically, there's a lot of changes from the original. This is the most deviated from the original of any of the versions of the game. So the game starts you out already outfitted with some pretty good equipment, which makes a lot of the starter equipment and a lot of the things you can buy completely redundant.
There's really no point to kind of grind outside of Tantagel for you just kind of can run off into the distance and start doing shit.
Which feels weird. There's a lot of new equipment in the game as well. Most of it's just grabbed from other Dragon Quest games and just injected into this.
Filling it out.
But it makes it feel pretty padded equipment-wise. Like most of the equipment you're never going to use. Just because a lot of it you find after you've already found better equipment. And it's just very strange as far as the placement and scattering of equipment in the game. The game now autosaves after every battle as well as when changing screens, which is nice. And saving now occurs at churches in each town rather than going to the king, which is nice because the world is bigger than it was before.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saved at a church 4 or 5 times in the whole game.
No, every time I was at a town, I would do it.
No, I just did. I relied on autosaves entirely.
I'm sure it's all just habit for me. But
sure.
I still would do so.
I will say some of the autosaves, because like the world definitely is bigger, but just the actual physical spaces you're moving in,
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Are like wider. So like sometimes just like walking across one dungeon level.
Yeah,
seems like it feels like even when you're running, you just don't move very fast.
right.
And so sometimes your autosaves can actually be a good distance apart from one another.
Yeah.
Because you just have the
and also the encounter rate isn't exactly low, so
everything's
you'll get
so
plenty of
gargantuan.
saves. Yeah,
for sure.
Also,
Anyway,
the regular movement speed is painful. Also, the regular battle speed is painful.
Even the fast,
the
I
fast
had
speed
issues
is
with the
okay.
speed of this game.
Yeah,
fast speed is bearable, but I
Yeah.
would like it. They call it ultra fast.
it's not. It's
Don't
normal.
put ultra in the name when it's normal speed.
Yeah, seriously.
And this is kind of going back to the music. The game, there are certain points in Dragon Quest, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it tends to do this, where they force you to listen to certain bits of music before you can proceed. For example, when you finish a combat, before you can button mash your way through the dialogue boxes, you have to listen to the "You finished a combat" jingle.
The jingle, yeah.
And when you die, you have to listen to the "You died" jingle. And when you save, you have to listen to the "You're saving" jingle.
Yeah.
That's
all traditional stuff, yeah.
Which, yeah, super traditional, but it's still annoying to me. I'm like, let me mash through that. I'm just trying to grind for a couple hours. I don't need
the saving one. I'm a little annoyed with these days because I know that it does not take that long for my
There's
Xbox
no
to
way.
save the SSD.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but it makes you listen to it, and so I think a lot of this game is just sort of it very much is like it's so much faster than the original in so many ways, but also it's like no, we're going to make you slow down. Things are going to be, we want it at a certain pace, and we're going to get it our way. I feel anyway. Yeah. Difficulty wise, I started on the medium difficulty Dragon Quest.
I started on Draconian.
Difficulty. Oh, you fool!
Because I was like, I've played Dragon Quest 1 so many times in my life. I often finish it in one sitting. This is a game I know like the back of my hand. This is going to be easy. No big deal. It was a big deal. This is it is tough, and I do have some complaints about this. So let's go through the difficulties real quick. So you have Draki Quest, which is your easiest difficulty. All your assistance options are on by default. You can't drop below 1 HP by default. You can turn off invincibility so that you can die if you want, but by default you have invincibility. Also, bosses don't recover HP at the end of their turn, which they did even in the original game. Well, the one boss did, because that was the only boss in the original game. Then you have Dragon Quest difficulty, which is your medium difficulty. Some of the assistance options are on by default, but you have the ability to turn any of them on or off, except for invincibility. And then Draconian Quest, which is your high difficulty. All your assistance options are off by default. Enemies have more HP, they deal more damage, and they reward less experience and gold.
That last one is a killer.
Yeah, that's
less XP and gold. That's rough.
There's so many interesting ways they could have added a high difficulty, and that's not it. Just making it harder with less rewards, that's just grindier. That's not
slower.
More difficult.
What they've done is they've made it slower.
Exactly.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I don't.
I went through about half the game on Dragon Quest and realized I just wasn't enjoying it. And went down to Draki Quest and kind of found some fun there. But we'll talk more in the comment section about why I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. When we get to the story, I'll have some complaints about some of the difficulty and stuff, because I did drop from Draconian to Dragon Quest a little past the halfway point when the difficulty spike really hit. And then I stayed on Dragon Quest all the way till the end of the game, and that was really... even that was pretty tough near the end. I ended up having to grind a lot more than I wanted to, which is saying something, because I love grinding in games.
I would drop it down to Draki Quest. Well, first I was just dropping it down just to grind, because then I don't have to watch myself grind, because the combat is brutal and very puzzle-esque, and random encounters will eat your lunch all the time.
Oh, I just did auto battle for random encounters the entire game.
No, I would do that, and they would kick the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Which, granted, I don't know. I mean, I finished the game at level 50, so I don't know if I was under or over. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think I was level 40, 43, something like that when I finished.
No, I was 49, and then after the final boss between the two forms, I leveled up to 50, and then that's this one. It would kick the shit out of me all the time.
That's weird. I had my dude on Fight Wisely, and he was just handling auto battles, no problem.
No, it was tough.
Granted, I was using boomerangs most of the time.
you run out of shit, then you have to go back to town. If you put on Draki Quest, you can just kind of hammer through it, and your sigils are always on, and it's nice. There's a bunch of assistance options. I'll fire through them, and then we can talk about which ones we used. The show chests on map. I used that.
Yeah, same.
Couldn't get through the game without it. Show story destination markers on map and provide quest help text and menu. I used that. That was fantastic.
I didn't use that. I thought that I wasn't going to need it, but about the halfway point, I was like, oh shit, maybe I do need this.
Where do I go?
And I briefly turned it on just to figure out what the fuck they were talking about at one point. I was like, where's this place? I've never heard of this before. But I mostly left that off.
Suggested combat options shows you what enemies are weak to. I used that pretty extensively. I imagine it wasn't something you really needed. No. Imagine you got them all memorized.
Yeah.
Show secret spots on map / minimap. This one I feel is pretty crucial because some of the secret spots are really hard to find.
Yeah, I did end up turning that on just because there's a bunch of them. Yeah.
I do like that it doesn't show you exactly where they're at. It just gives you kind of a general location. So there's still, you still get the feeling of like finding it.
Yeah.
But, recover HP and MP when leveling up. What kind of fucking game doesn't give you HP and MP when you fuck you? Yes, that's on. That goes on.
That's a very I think Dragon Quest 11 was the first one that did that, and I did turn it on, and it was great. It made that last dungeon so much more bearable.
Yeah, I imagine. There's seeds all in the game, which cool, but you only have one character, so who else you can give them
all to him? Yeah.
I even texted you. I was like, "Why does this game give me seeds? Do I just use these on my guy? Like, it doesn't matter, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, just use them." Like, why? It's just one. I have only the one guy. Why do they could just I feel like they could have took the seeds and just put them into the level up stats, and it could have been, fine.
Right.
I like the scrolls. You find scrolls to learn some of your spells and abilities. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's a neat new touch.
Like Dragon Quest is kind of like always secretly a collectathon, and I like getting to
recent
collect
ones
things.
Are anyway. The original one wasn't.
Newer ones, but I like getting to collect things that aren't just fucking mini medals. Like that's cool, because mini medals are boring. Although I think required in this one because of some of the rewards you get, which we'll talk more about at a later date. You get recall, which I perpetually accidentally overwrote what I wanted to recall all the time.
But I had only used it once on accident, and then when I went back to go look at it, I saw that it had a whole menu of all the things that I had saved. So,
does it?
Yeah, you just go into that recall menu, and it's just lets you select which town you want to recall and then which person you want to recall. And yeah, it was much more in depth than I expected.
Wow. There are mini medals added to this one. You get the little mini metal mansion. So first of all, the metal mansion place is the best town in the game because everything's all smushed together. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
So once I unlock that, I would just zoom there for all of my resting and stuff because why would I go anywhere else? I got to walk too much because
the end's a little more expensive there than it is in some other towns.
Yeah,
but money isn't really a problem.
I'd like 150,000 gold by the end. But the best healing spell in the game. And really, I would describe it as the only good healing spell in the game.
After the halfway point, anyway.
Yeah, is locked behind mini medals. Yes. And it's one of the last mini medal rewards you get. Yep. That is that's just bad design. I'm just going to throw it out there.
It's pretty mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's very mean because, I mean, by the end of the game, I had 550, 600 HP.
Yeah.
Your best healing spell heals 75 HP?
Well, it's 150 with the sigil, I think.
Yeah, if you got the sigil version. But even then, 150, what the fuck am I going to do with 150 HP? That doesn't do anything.
The game was rebalanced a lot around these new bosses and around your higher stats and everything, except for the healing spells. And that just feels so weird.
I kept waiting to get my third heal spell, and I was like, when do you get better healing? And finally, you're like, it's mini medals. And I was like, fuck, man, that's... I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't like that.
That's not the way it should do that.
They brought in Heal All and Handy Heal All, which are nice to have. I use those a bunch.
Oh yeah.
You get. I'm assuming you're talking about sigils in this section of the.
I was trying to not mention the sigils in this episode
sigils,
because that is kind of a spoiler.
We'll describe more of what they are and what they do next episode, I guess.
Well, if you've played Dragon Quest 2, you already know what they are.
Then you know, yeah.
But you don't know what they do. That's a new thing, so we'll get to
that. You have accessory slots. I kept the.
Well, I was going to mention, that they do have gameplay effect because that is a gameplay thing.
I don't want to spoil much.
Yeah, all right. We'll do that in the next episode.
I have complaints about them. I have complaints about them.
Okay.
There's the item bag, which there's the bank is here, but with autosave and rematch for bosses. I never used the bank. I never lost any money. So
adding autosave and rematch really changes the entire Dragon Quest experience, to be honest. So
gears can curse you. Which
you could always get cursed gear, but now you can remove it at any church instead of having to go back to that one dude in Tantegel.
So it feels like, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's just like you put cursed gear on and it's like, oh no, now you're cursed. And then in combat, sometimes you can't do shit.
Right.
It fucks your combat up. But the idea is that the cursed gear is also really good so that you want to keep it on and deal with. But then you can't take it off, but I can just zoom to any church and I can even zoom when I'm indoors or in the bottom of a dungeon. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's just one of those Dragon Quest things.
Because in the original game, it basically had the same negative effect. It had no positive effects in Cursed Gear in the original. It was just negative. But you could only go to one dude in Tantegel to remove it. So you would have to either use a wing or the return spell if you already had it by that point. And go find that one guy. But now you just go to any church in any town, just wipe it out.
Yeah. They added multi-use keys with it, which they've had in other ones. You got the 3 keys, which I like that system. It's fun. It's fun to find little doors and try to remember where they are and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Dragon Quest II had introduced that concept of the reusable keys. So they just brought it into Dragon Quest I as well, which I was a little sad by because I kind of liked the original key system in the original game, but I get what they were doing.
Where it was just kind of Zelda style.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I liked it. It was fine. The quest form were weird. Weird fucking quests.
Yep.
Especially the second one, which I guess we'll talk about next episode. I want to talk combat.
Okay.
Because in this game, like Dragon Quest 1, your party is exactly one character. It's just you.
It's dude. Yeah.
But unlike Dragon Quest 1, you can encounter multiple enemies at a time. I mean, some of them is like 3 and 4 groups of enemies.
Yeah. Sometimes you can encounter up to 8 or 9 enemies in one battle.
And so the action economy of this game is fucked. That's where the game's problem.
It's tough,
is. And it's the problem is you get 1 action per turn.
Yep.
With abilities, you can have up to 2 actions per turn, but you have to waste a turn to activate that ability. And enemies get as many turns as there are enemies. Some enemies also get more than 1 attack.
Yep.
And so the action economy is not properly balanced around the fact that you only get really 1 thing to do per turn.
Yeah, you basically have to lean on boomerangs and whips until you learn Kazap. And then the game just becomes easy mode.
Yeah. So, but the problem is when I can only heal for up to 150 a turn, if I have the sigil activated, then if I'm in the portion of the game, I mean, the enemies are doing more than 150 damage.
Right.
So I would get caught in these death spirals a lot of the time, especially on bosses.
Yeah.
Where it was like I knew I had lost. There's nothing I could do, and I'm just playing out these few turns until they kill me because I didn't
encounter too many situations where they were out damaging my healing until really the very, very end of the game.
Oh, I was getting it, I don't know, halfway through. Maybe I was under-leveled for the middle, but by about... who's the skeleton guy? Armageddon? That guy?
Yeah.
He was when I was like, I have to lower the difficulty
That was a really difficult fight for me.
That fight was tough. I made it up through the green dragon, and I was like, doing okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, because of your low action economy, the game turns into... It's like a puzzle game mixed with RNG. So like you have to make only the correct decisions, but the game might still fuck you.
Yeah,
if it decides to.
For the bosses anyway. Yeah, I was definitely
for random encounters.
Random encounters they rarely did all that much damage to me. But these
boss encounters are like it's to the point where I'm like they need patching is what it is.
Yeah,
it just needs to get patched or something.
Yeah.
They're just badly designed encounters.
I am glad to hear that you also had an issue because the whole time I was playing it, I was worried this was going to be a Sea of Stars scenario again, where somehow I thought the game was very difficult, and you were like, "Nah, it's super easy, man. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, yeah. No, I had a really hard time with it. And at first, the first boss that I hit it with was the dragon zombies, which I'll talk more about next episode. But you have two of them, and in earlier in the game, you have a boss fight with the golem where it's kind of a gimmick fight where you
just play the flute and it's done.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah.
I just fought him.
What do you? We talked about this last episode.
Did we?
Yeah,
I just fought him.
When we were talking about favorite bosses, I was like, yeah, when you fight the golem in Dragon Quest, you just play the flute and he stays asleep the whole time.
I remember that now. I forgot.
Oh my
God. I fought him and killed him.
Why? Why would you do that? You just play the flute.
Because I could.
Oh my God.
I forgot about the flute. I forgot.
That's the whole point of the flute, is you put the golem to sleep.
Forgot about the flute. I knew it was a gimmick fight. And so in my head, I was like, what's the gimmick? I didn't look it up. I knew there was a gimmick. Yep. And so I was like, what is the gimmick? Saturn told me what the gimmick is. And I was like, oh, yeah, you put him to sleep.
Multiple people in the game tell you what the gimmick is.
I don't listen to these fucking people. So in my head, I was like, all right, I know I put him to sleep. Saturn said he goes to sleep. I forgot you put him to sleep with the flute.
Yeah, you just play the flute and he falls asleep.
So I just put him to sleep with the sleep spell.
Does he fall asleep with the sleep spell?
Yeah, it works great.
Oh, wow. Yeah, in the original, he was immune to the sleep spell.
Well, either way, the gimmick is you put him to sleep.
Yep.
And so after that, the next boss I encounter, I'm like, all right, I guess this is also a gimmick boss because it was so hard that I was like, there's no way I'm dying in a turn. There's no possible way that I can beat this. So there's got to be a trick. And yeah, the bosses need patching.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that I'm fine with just being like, these are badly designed, they need to be patched. Everything past the green dragon needs a patch.
Yeah, they're tuned real poorly.
Yeah, we'll pass the golem, I guess, because you're supposed to play the flute. But
yeah.
And
and really the one right before the golem, which we'll talk about next episode when we get to story, because any bosses that aren't the golem or the last boss are all new. So we'll get to that in the next episode.
Yeah.
But
yeah. What else do you want to talk about for combat?
Well, they did add the automated combat, so you can just set your tactics.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Which I did for every random battle in the game.
I don't understand why they added it. You can set yourself to focus on healing.
Yeah, that's useless. That's completely.
Why would you do that? You only, again, it just feels like this was designed for a party in mind, and then they changed their mind, which I know couldn't possibly be the case. It's Dragon Quest 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just very well. They just reused the code from 3 and 2 and just applied it to 1, and it was just a very lazy way to do that because the game really needs to be tuned for that single character, and it wasn't. I do want to talk about the death when you die.
Okay,
because you get the option to rematch if it's a boss. You don't get that option on random battles. You get the option to continue from the autosave, which is usually a few steps before that battle. Or you can do the traditional Dragon Quest thing, which is where you continue from church, where you keep your experience and any items you've collected, but you lose half your gold. And it'll actually tell you how much gold you're going to lose if you choose this option.
Yeah.
Which is a disincentive to force you to choose one of those other options. Or you can reload your save file, which all of this feels very antithetical to the way that Dragon Quest is designed. Because in normal Dragon Quest games, it just immediately dumps you back to the church. You don't get any options. If you want to reload a save file, hit the reset button and do it yourself, lazy ass. But you don't get an option to rematch or go from an autosave or whatever. And so it really feels like it's taking away that one of the few unique things about death in Dragon Quest games.
Yeah. Well, also, this is also what makes the bank useless.
Yeah.
There's no point in using the bank. So with this one thing, which I don't know, I don't want it to make it sound like we're like, well, it's not hard enough. It's for little babies now. That's not the issue.
Honestly, I feel like it makes it harder because it makes me want to just keep retrying from right where I am. Whereas in a normal Dragon Quest game,
face into it.
I would dump back to the church, grind my way back there, probably gain some more experience, and it makes the whole leveling process feel a little smoother. Whereas in this, because you're just retrying it from right there over and over and over again, you're not getting any extra experience in the process.
I wonder if they were working on it. They got to this point, they had already done the bosses, and they said, look, these bosses are way too hard. And instead of tuning it, they're like, what if we just put in a rematch option?
Yeah.
Well,
the rematch option was also in the Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D as well.
Well, then they must just brought it over.
Yeah.
I mean that's the only thing that makes sense. Again, it feels like you said it's another thing that just feels kind of lazy. Not I mean not like bad or busted, but
yeah, it does
kind of lazy.
And we're not talking about Dragon Quest II in these episodes, but I do want to mention the Dragon Quest II remix that's in the same collection, that's on the same disc, is fantastic. It feels tuned very well. The story upgrades are incredible. The writing is great, aside from them kind of mixing up the Old English a little bit. It is. I saw somebody, I think on Reddit, had posted one of those little like second grade most improved awards that teachers give to students, and they just wrote in Dragon Quest II, and it's correct. That is correct. Which makes this feel so much stranger that it's so poorly tuned, because Dragon Quest II is not.
Yeah.
But that is just weird. Also, I did want to mention they brought in whips and boomerangs, which is the only way that this game is manageable at all, because with this many enemies in combat, you need a whip or a boomerang. Because they act as they do in the later Dragon Quest games, where a whip will attack an entire group of enemies and a boomerang will attack all enemies. And so I was constantly changing my equipment in every battle to, if it was a large group of one enemies, I'd go to my whip. If it was a bunch of different enemies, I'd go to my boomerang. Or otherwise, I would go back to my sword so that I would attack a single enemy. And that really makes it much more manageable. Also, I'd mentioned earlier, the original Dragon Quest only has 40 enemy types, of which most are palette swaps. Now they've added in all these enemies from Dragon Quest 2 and 3. So there's a lot of enemy types in this game now.
Yeah. And we're kind of getting into, I guess, final thoughts on the gameplay portion of it. And it's just reiterating, combat was pretty brutal, specifically boss fights. I kept waiting for the game to like give me more actions per turn to compensate.
No, none of that.
And it never really, I mean, it never really does. Like I assumed like once I hit a certain level, it'd be like, well, now you get 2 actions a turn or something, which would have still made it a tough game.
Right, but it would have made it a lot more manageable.
Right, it would give me enough action economy to heal and attack on the same turn every turn without having to do it when I can, and then be like, I guess I'm healing for 5 turns in a row. Oh, I'm healing for 150 and he's dealing 162. I guess I'm just going to spiral out now. Great. I'm still really upset that the best... I don't even want to call it the best. The only good healing spell is locked behind fucking mini medals. So not even a spell, it's an ability. That needs to get fixed. That's bad.
The defendability is much more useful in this than in any Dragon Quest since the NES version of 3.
Yeah. If you know something's coming, then it's
also. I'll talk about that in the second episode. But there's a bonus with the defendability late in the game.
There were a lot of fights that I got through with cop out entirely.
That's a good one.
Just cop out over and over and over. Some of them boss fights because I couldn't figure out what else to do.
Right.
But cop out wasn't 100%, so I would just repeat the boss fight over and over and cop out every turn until.
And don't you have to find cop out on a scroll too?
I'm not sure. Probably. A lot of the really, really necessary spells to really get through the game in a meaningful way are locked behind scrolls that you have to find, which I'm less upset about that than the mini medals, because the mini medals you have to get certain numbers to hit the rewards.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them like sticking it in a drawer and you find it in a town. That's
right.
But I had issues with the gameplay, and I was really frustrated with it because just a little bit of tweaking, like you're saying, just a little bit of tuning, and it could be so much fun. And it just felt kind of lopsided.
Yeah, aside from the boss battles, which are just really way too difficult. I also, again, a lot of the new equipment is effectively useless because by the time you find it, you've already gotten something better. So it just feels like there's a whole bunch of extra stuff. Plus, a lot of the old spells and equipment become redundant. Like we didn't mention it, but the evac spell, it used to be the outside spell, completely useless now. Serves no purpose whatsoever because they made it to where zoom works inside of buildings and dungeons.
Yep. Well, and then also when you zoom, if you hold triangle,
you go to right outside of the place.
You'll go to the outside of the instead of having to zoom there and then evac. There's no point in evac.
Yeah, it's just become a completely vestigial spell at this point. I also do want to mention the battle music is still ruined. They ruined the battle music on the Super NES version, and it's been ruined ever since then. So let me explain this for people who don't live in my brain. So most JRPGs and games that have a separate combat scene with separate music will have a little transition. Like in the old Final Fantasy games, it was always like wee wee, and then it would go into battle and play the battle music. And in the original Dragon Quest, being the progenitor of the JRPG, had a little when it would start the combat, and then it would play the battle music. And that little sound effect would play while the animation was changing. So by the time that the animation appeared and you could see the combat, it was already playing the battle music. And starting with the Super NES version and every version since, Sugiyama and his infinite wisdom, when he orchestrated it, decided to keep that sound effect as part of the music, but he made it this giant bombastic orchestral flourish where it goes, and that's now the beginning of every combat music. And it lasts so long that the battle is often over by the time that is done. So you never hear the combat music, and I hate that, and I wish he hadn't done that. I just want people to know that you should go back and listen to the NES version because it isn't so ridiculous.
I just like how mad it made you.
It made me so mad, and I've been upset about it ever since I played the Super NES version on an emulator back in like 97 or something. I am still upset about it.
To me, gameplay-wise, I think this game just feels like I feel like I'm playing a beta. I feel like they like took the Dragon Quest III HD engine, slapped DQ1 in it, and they're like, hey, Justin, check this out. You think we're on the right track kind of thing, you know? It's gameplay-wise. Obviously, the story is much expanded and a lot of work went into it.
Stellar, yeah.
But just gameplay-wise, it feels like they just sort of stuck it in here and we're like, is that good? Is good enough? Ship it.
I don't know if I'm quite as negative on it as you are. I do think that there were some poor decisions made when it came to the combat system. They really needed to spend some more time balancing it for the single player than they did, especially the boss battles. And I've already heard some people on the internet who had no problems at all with the combat.
What? At all?
Yeah, and we've even had one person in our Discord, one of our patrons, I think, who's been playing the game, and he had mentioned that he finished the entire game on Draconian. And he said it was difficult, but he was able to manage it. So there are people out there who have been able to do so. I just feel like it's I feel like it really should have been a little more manageable, a little more in line.
I mean, I guess, you know, being a JRPG, the question is always like, of course you can grind to level infinity and get through goddamn near anything.
I think he said he was level 43 when he finished the game.
What? That's 7 levels lower than me.
Well, that's about where I finished it too, is 43, 44.
Man, I don't know. I'll say this. I kept feeling like I was missing something or doing something wrong. Yeah. Like I wasn't playing the game the way it wanted me to for some reason.
That's how I felt at every boss battle. The rest of the game, I was just fine. But
no, random encounters, I mean, you just hit the guys and then they die and it's whatever. Right. But like, all the boss battles, like I kept feeling like, what's the trick? I thought for sure I was misunderstanding sigils.
I found one thing that with one boss battle, like after I died like 6 or 7 times, I looked up on the internet and somebody was like, oh, use this one sigil ability. And I did, and it died in like one hit. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I got to figure out for all the other bosses going forward. And then I never figured anything out. And when I would look them up online, they'd be like, oh, just keep trying.
Sigils aren't well communicated. Their abilities aren't well communicated.
Well, they are. After you beat the game, load up your save file again. It'll tell you everything.
Well, they put it in the Traveler's Tips, like, at certain points, but then in the heat of battle, you have to remember what that thing does.
Right.
Okay, I have a mechanical thing I want to bitch about with sigils.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to spoil much, but sigils are just souped up versions of regular abilities.
Mostly, yeah.
And they only activate under certain circumstances. But the thing is, the sigil version of an attack usually takes almost 10 times more MP than the original version does.
A lot of time, yeah.
And if you try to cast the sigil version and you don't have enough MP, it fucking fizzles and wastes your turn.
Well, just use MP zone first. Or zero zone. Use zero zone first.
Well, right, but I don't know. So I'll have like 29 MP, and I'm like, what is the shit? What is the how much do I need for it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And so then I'll go to cast it and it'll fizzle because I had 29 and I needed 30 or whatever. Yeah. And the game doesn't try to stop you. If you do any other regular spell, it'll be like, you don't have enough MP.
Right.
But then for the sigils, it's like, nah, we're just going to let you waste your fucking turn and die. Yep. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating.
We gotta end this one. Go to our Patreon. Patreon.com.
No, guys here.
Say, hang out. Guys, gonna be here for the after party. Also, go to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Retro Warriors. You can get uncut versions of this show. You can get Talking Wizards. You can get our undying gratitude. It is gratitude that will never die. It will live throughout the cosmos for all eternity.
I mean, we'll die.
Yeah, we will, but the gratitude comes
it'll
out
live
of us
forever.
It emanates like radio waves and just goes out into the universe.
I thought you were going to say it emanates like Siemens.
No, not like that.
Okay, good.
No.
That's good.
No. Thick ropes of gratitude.
No.
Our gratitude will be splattered all over the place.
We want to thank the following patrons, starting with Not a Bear in a Man Suit.
And Cosmic A.
Brian Guido Hassin.
A discontinued cigarette.
McFlurry XD.
Hey, I'm your little butterfly.
Amish Priest.
Oh no, this one's broken again. Kyove Lingver.
Yeah, sorry, man. I don't know. It keeps breaking the Unicode character in your name. Sorry. Yeah. Luis Hernandez.
And Higgles and his ice cream cats.
Are all patrons we want to thank for the money that they give us that we spent on things and stuff, and we appreciate it.
And not drugs.
So thank you. Not drugs. Didn't buy drugs.
Not one.
Can't prove otherwise.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. And as always, let us cling together. Hi, welcome to the after party with our producer, Guy.
Hi, Guy.
Hey, it's me.
What's going on?
There's thick ropes of Guy here.
No. Mm-mm. I'm gonna say no.
Veto. You've never had to use your producer veto. Here is the chance. Finally.
Yep.
Found the line.
Already off to a weird start.
How you doing, Guy?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good. Cannot complain too much. My kids are out of town, and that kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool. Like, at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really it.
That's
I'm such a boring ass person that's always busy.
See you later.
Right. Been playing a lot of Magic
I just
lately.
assume you have so much shit going on because I won't hear from you for 2 weeks at all, and then I'll be like, "Oh, Guy's around. He must have been busy."
Well, and it's like it's like going to hockey games and lately I've been going to like Magic at the comic store.
Friday Night Magic, yeah.
Like they finally got me out for a Commander night, and I brought my Doctor Who Commander deck. And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, so we're playing baby cards. Great."
Oh no, they all made fun of your deck.
No, they didn't. Like it was a kind thing. Like
it was in good fun.
Yeah, we signed up for the casual thing or whatever, and I was like, I brought a pre-contact, and they're like, all right, well, we know what level we're playing, so
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Which is nice of them, right? And it was very inclusive and all that, but also like I had a lot of anxiety going into it because me. But
fair.
But it was fun. And then last week was the Avatar pre-release. So now there's Avatar cards.
The Avatar, the Nickelodeon cartoon.
Yeah,
right?
The Last Airbender, not
James Cameron's Avatar, the magic cards.
No, I mean I'm sure that's coming eventually, but
isn't everything?
As soon as fucking Hasbro and Disney make a deal, it's over. Although I guess Disney's
still
got
trying
their
to
own
sell
game.
their fucking TCG Lorcana.
Yeah,
the Disney TCG, which I hear sucks. So. We'll see how long they last. Although they've done Marvel shit. They did the Spider-Man, and that's Disney. They own Spider-Man.
Oh my god, this is the worst set of the entire time I've been playing.
Oh no, I heard it was bad, but I just assumed you loved it because it was Spider-Man. You're such a Spider-Man fan.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about that set. Okay, two things. One, it was like half a set, right?
Oh, okay.
Like if you take a normal set, it's about half the release cards or whatever, or cards released. I play most of my Magic, like limited Magic, online because the store like tried to get draft going and it just kind of petered out.
Yeah.
Because it's a half set, they invented a new draft format that's like pick 2 and then pass the pack, right?
Oh, okay.
And then when they released it on Arena, that's the only way that you can draft it.
That changes everything.
And it's not like a full release, or is it not full release? Oh, I'm back with your ropes. No, it's not the. It's not the full length of the event. Usually, it's 7 wins or 3 losses, whichever comes first.
Okay.
It was 4 wins or 2 losses. So, like, if you like draw bad in 2 games, that's the end of your run.
You're just fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
like
sucks.
shit happens in Magic. Like it's the thing.
Yeah.
And then on top of all of that, the arena cards aren't the Spider-Man cards.
Oh yeah, because they couldn't get the license to do digital Spider-Man cards.
Yeah, so they have like all the abilities and they're like Magic like character, skinned essentially.
Okay. They didn't make it be like man's spider.
No, yeah.
I would have liked that more. If
That
it was
one
just
guy
like,
from Shinobi.
Yeah, if it was just Kmart brand Spider-Man shit that they're like, make it fucking look like it. It's good.
Now they pulled in like rando creatures and like Magic characters from various planes or whatever. So like for that's cool, I guess. But then like, I'm not. I if I'm playing and giving them money, I'm not getting Spider-Man cards in return. So why the fuck would I care?
Yeah, I'd heard it was just a boring set. Like just in general, there just wasn't anything crazy interesting going on with it, and it was kind of milk toast.
Yeah, well, because it's like half the thing. So like only 5 of the color pairs were really like explicitly supported.
Yeah.
So there's just less to do, and I don't know. It's disappointing, and it's disappointing that it was disappointing because I was so excited for it. It's dumb.
How bad did you lose Commander?
Well, we played 2 games, and I came in 4th on my table in both games.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get to do the thing a few times. Like the deck's whole thing is if you play something from not your hand, you get bonuses.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you're building engines like ways to like exile shit out of your hand or draw, draw card stuff. And I got it set up a couple of times before I died. So, it's fun.
That's good. Yeah. I always liked Commander. I don't know. It's just, I like it that it's social,
Yeah.
And it's more of like hanging out. It feels more board gamey than trading card gamey.
Yeah.
Like when I got rid of all my Magic cards, I kept on my Commander decks because like Commander's still fun. I still play Commander, but I don't, I'm not here to do competitive level Magic, but Commander was it's so much fun. It's a good time.
Well, if you're ever free on a Friday night, come down to Weatherford. I'll go.
I got it. I've run into an issue where, my nighttime vision is bad.
Oh no!
And it is making it difficult for me to drive at night.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's getting bad. I need to go to the eye doctor, and I don't think there's anything they can do. I just have an astigmatism, so like lights are like fucking blinding.
I just got new glasses last week that help greatly with astigmatism.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to go talk to my eye doctor then because my it's been like stuff like that. It's been like I just can't do it now.
My previous glasses that they had given me actually made the astigmatism way worse. To the point to where if I was wearing my glasses, everything just looked like starbursts everywhere. It was and I work at night, so driving home with that was extra fun.
That's hard. Yeah.
But now with these new glasses, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a
glasses
reverse
technology
vampire.
advances so much.
Right?
Like
I'm like trying to rush home before it gets dark anytime I'm out somewhere. I'm like, oh no, the night cometh, and I have to
like an inverse vampire.
Yeah.
Or Ichabod Crane was what I was thinking. I don't know why. That's a weird ass reference, but hey, there you go. But yeah, no, like, and that sucks too. Like, or no, sorry, that doesn't suck. I got lost in my thought. The comic shop. When I went with a friend of mine that I had met playing like drafts or something or other, maybe a pre-release. But he and I connected, and we, we're friends, and we hang out, and we're both like Star Season ticket holders and shit. I mean, we don't hang out. We hang out like at Magic, and I see him at Star Games. But whatever. Point being, he was like, "Yeah, come up, and then I'll tell him that we want to play together." And I'm like, "Okay, great." So he did that, and so we got to play together, and they're like real cool about that, like
That's
and
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because they've got their like the event does its own matchmaking or whatever.
Yeah.
For the tables. So, but they'll make sure you can play with your friends if you come with like a group.
That's nice. Yeah. That's always the hard part is like, like you go to trading card events and you go with a friend and then like you sit there and you play and it's like you're fucking across the store from each other the whole time and you may not even see each other. Depending like if you have games that go long or whatever, and then so it's like you went with your friend but didn't really get to see him or hang out with him.
yeah. It's kind of
you were in a game 40 feet away, like hi. So yeah, that always feels a little weird. I've been wanting to get out and do more game store stuff just because I like it, and I've been kind of concentrating it all into conventions lately.
Mm-hmm.
The last few years anyway, just because it's easy, because everything's a fucking hour drive for me, and then I'm stuck out at night. I didn't realize how bad it had gotten is the problem, and the time change happened, and I now drive my daughter home from art lessons after dark, and I didn't know that till I took her to art lessons, and then we were driving home, and I was like, oh, it's dark, and then I was on the road, and I was like, oh, I can't fucking see.
No.
So that's fun. But yeah, I've been wanting to get out and do more game store stuff. It's just always at night and an hour away, and it sucks,
Yeah, no, I
2
hear
fucking
you.
hours of driving. I was doing when I was playing Magic at stores. It was like I was like, all right, I'm driving for almost 2.5 hours for 3 to 4 hours of playing cards, and it was that thing where you're like, I don't know, that feels kind of worth it.
Yeah.
But not like super worth it. So I don't know. I miss it sometimes.
It is enjoyable, and I like the store in Weatherford. So
yeah, what we is that the one that used to be in the square or whatever and then moved?
I don't know. I know it did move like last year, and it's like just north of the square.
What's it called?
Session Zero.
No, I think I'm thinking of a different store that was in Weatherford.
Yeah, there is another one in Weatherford, and I don't know anything about it. Can't say one way or the other.
Well, there you go. Well, you got anything else for us, Guy?
No. It's a good episode. I'm glad you got to play a game you didn't like or whatever.
Wait. Why'd they make football players quit dancing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they let him dance again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they can dance again?
Oh,
good. Yeah.
Well, so why did they footloose the football players to begin with?
Because
was it politics?
No,
was it politics? Was it Kevin Bacon?
Oh my God, I fucking hate y'all. It's like a sportsmanship thing, right? Where they felt it was like used to taunt other people, and so they wanted to set a good example, quote unquote, for the kids.
Of course, it's used to taunt other people. That's the whole point.
Right, and that's not very sportsmanlike. And so if you're concerned about your image with like kids and parents and shit, like then you don't want them to model that when they're like on the football field, and it inhibits the growth of your sport theoretically.
I see. But the dances were so fun.
Yeah, well, and now they've brought them back. So
hey,
do they have rules about the dancing?
Yeah, you can't like taunt people, but like, and you can't use props.
What? They were using props?
Oh yeah. Like that's when they banned it really, because like one wide receiver like had a dry erase marker in his like taped to his sock, and then he pulled it out and signed the football and like threw it to somebody or some shit.
What?
Yeah.
You say props, and I'm imagining that they like score a touchdown and then take out a fucking rubber chicken.
I mean, it probably would have got to that pretty quickly, like, because like that was the evolution of them one-upping each other on their dances and shit.
Could you invite the other team to join you in your dance?
I don't think they'd want to, Saturn, to be honest.
Yeah, they'd probably be upset that
what dicks? I'm trying to celebrate here. Why would then when it came celebrate with
when it came back, they were like, you can only celebrate by yourself. You can't celebrate with like your teammates, right? But they changed that a couple of years ago, and now they have like big like team celebrations where they do like choreography and shit.
Oh, they're doing some river dance out there.
That did happen one time, yeah.
What was it? Was it basketball that made that joke about them river dancing on the
probably? It sounds like a
Oh,
basketball joke.
I never got past the opening scene of Basketball.
Oh my god, that movie's so dumb.
Yeah,
I was
really
like, this
dumb,
might actually be too stupid for me.
It is pretty stupid, but I enjoy that.
Which is saying something. I know the shit you watch,
right?
Yeah, that's really sad. Granted, I haven't tried to watch it. So I've gotten much dumber as an adult, so
That's
maybe now I'd like it more.
Yeah, it is pretty dumb, but I'm okay with that. I knew what level of stupid I was getting going into that movie, so I think it was all right.
Yeah, it made me laugh a lot. Like I haven't watched it in probably 15 years or so.
It's pretty inappropriate. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it is entirely inappropriate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it with your children.
No, good Lord, no.
Well, Guy, thanks for producing the show.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for having me on and hanging out with me on Andrew's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Very nice.
You can do a dance if you want.
Yeah. We won't stop you.
But you can't dance with us.
Right.
Oh.
And you can't taunt us.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's against the rules.
Oh, okay. Well, because I already did taunt you earlier today.
That's true.
Well, but you weren't doing it while dancing.
Right.
Taunting is allowed as a separate.
Yeah, just not during a dance.
You can't taunt while you're dancing.
No taunt dancing. That's
too aggressive.
That's too aggressive.
If you taunt while colorfully walking, that's okay. But you have to make sure that you specify that it's not a dance.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we got to record another one of these shows. Thanks for listening to the show. Okay, bye.
Bye.